Welcome, everybody. Good to see you here. So this is our sixth time meeting together to learn the first section of the Young Family Form. And today we are going to do another new move. I think it will be an easier move than the ones we've done before. So I think you'll get to take a little bit of a breath of fresh air. And we're going to, again, do a lot of practice like we did last time. And we're going to completely review last week's move, which was write word off. So we'll be doing all of that. A few announcements for folks. I'm going to be handing out a survey. I will do that by email to all the folks who have registered. So if somebody's watching this and you haven't registered, it'd be great if you could register for the class. I'm not going to give you my email now, but if you go to the YouTube site, you can see that the info at youngtaichiseattle.com will be forwarded to me. So that's the school's information, and that's right there on the video description. So you'll be able to find that. If you want to take the survey, and I'm really interested in everybody who is watching this class or taking this class, because this is our sixth time, and I'm doing some things that every teacher does, and I'm doing some things a little differently than some of the teachers do. And I'd like to find out what's working for you and what's not working for you. So whether this is your first class, or you've been to all the classes, or you've just been to one or two, do let me know how it's working for you. Sometimes what we find is there's a lot of diversity in our classes, and just want to know who's there and what works for different folks when we're doing that. I'm going to pop us all onto gallery view so I can actually see you all. So a couple of announcements. When we're practicing today, I am going to use this, but only then, probably, only a couple of times. And what this means is this is my right hand. So, you can see that this is like my right side. And I'm hoping that that will help with confusion. But when I'm mirroring you, I won't do that. Okay? So I'll just say, hey, everybody, raise the hand on this side, and then you'll put a hand up and I'll let you know if that's the hand I want you to raise. And it'll probably be your, your right hand or your left hand. I'll let you know what I think that is. But it won't actually be the same for me, because I'll be acting like your mirror, and that will be easy. We've done that before. Well, that'll be easy for some of us. A few of us, that's challenging for, and I realize. And that's one of the questions on the survey is what works for you and what doesn't. So I'm going to be asking you whether this helped at all, and you can let us know. And I'm going to ask you about the mirroring and things like that. So I appreciate it if you'd give me feedback on all of that. I also want to introduce a concept right now that's used in all of our classes. We won't use it all the time, but for those of you who are a little older, and I certainly am a little older, this will not be challenging. For people who are younger, it might be. So I didn't put that on the survey, and maybe I'll put that on the survey too. We use a clock sometimes, and you know how I've been starting our practice by sometimes facing this direction so that you can be behind me. That's because the form actually starts in a particular direction, and I want you to be able to follow it in the direction that it usually starts. We call that 12 o'clock, that direction, the direction in which you're facing when you start the form. So it makes sense. So when we're practicing, you can come behind me and start the form. And so it's as if I put a clock, an old-fashioned analog clock, right? An old-fashioned analog clock on the floor. So this is 12, and then 1, 2. This is 3 o'clock over here, and this is. And if you turned around and you looked away from the screen, you'd be looking at 6 o'clock, right? And then if you kept turning, if you did what I'm doing, you'd be looking at 9 o'clock. So for some people, they find that really helpful because you're able to say, oh, turn your foot out 45 degrees to a particular side, which changes all the time. But sometimes people want to know, wait, where is that? Is that 11:30, 10:30, or 1:30 or what? So I will play with that a little bit today for you all, and you can get a feel for that. Because as we do the form more and more, we may learn it in one direction that's easy to learn, but then it's normally done in a different direction when we do the sequence. And it can get really confusing when you go home to practice it. So I want to make clear for you that as well. So those are the announcements for today. Any questions on any of that? We good? All right. Sorry to have taken some of the class time for that. All right. Well, we're going to warm up today by actually doing Tai Chi. And for those of you who are new, just do whatever works for you. Hey, Julia, welcome. Just do whatever is.
A Zoom link.
Oh, okay. Well, you're here. That's good. So if we have done some moves that you haven't had a chance to study yet, don't worry about it. They'll be on the videos. And when in doubt, just pick a part of your body, probably your lower part, to do first. And don't worry about trying to coordinate upper and lower parts. So let's start with what we have learned so far. Get yourself in to prepare. I'm going to I want you facing the screen, please, facing 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn this way just to help. We've got some new folks that are coming in. Want to allow you to kind of see, but remember, as we get into prepare, we're feeling this extension from the very center of us, up the top, out of the top of our head, kind of like we have a fishbowl. We're balancing on the top of our head. It's gently pushing up. At the same time, we're feeling heavy in our feet, and our entire foot, each foot is entirely on the floor, just like it was magnetic, and it's hooked. And your lower back is relaxed. What we mean by that is if you were to start to sit on a bar stool, or, like to sit down, and we've practiced this, you could sit down, and when you sit down, your lower back relaxes. Then you can not change your lower back and just straighten your legs. So we don't want this tipped kind of pelvis, and we won't want this really tight. We just want that, ooh, I'm about to sit in a chair feeling. Head pushing up. You're like suspended. In prepare, your body is suspended from the very top. Your shoulders are hanging. Imagine yourself like you're hanging on a coat hanger, completely relaxed, heavy in the bottom, arms extended. And we're going to go into opening. Feel that expansion across your shoulder blades and your back extending. It's turning your upper arms, and they're levering up. Your arms come up to shoulder height, and then those elbows go down first, and you push that ball into the water. It's a big beach ball. You're pushing it down. You're going to know where the end is because you can't push anymore. Then we're going to shift to the left for left ward off. Turn out to the right. Our arms swing. We then move all of our weight to the right. Sinking. Step close. Macaw on that lower arm. Turn to the corner. Pat the macaw. And look off towards what? 3 o'clock to the side of the room. Now, we're going to bend that right knee and start to shift our weight there just enough in order to pivot on that left heel. We're going to bring that left heel going right to the parallel, and we're going to push with our right foot all of our weight to the left, grabbing with our left hand, and then right foot comes in. close, step. Make a place for a small bird, pushing with the back, coming up with the front, absorbing with the front. We're going to bend that knee. This is right ward off. How are we? We're going to do it again, twice more, a little faster, and then we're going to take questions. So whatever's really not clear to you, let's figure that out. We're going to actually start here looking at 9 o'clock, and we'll prepare, fishbowl, feet centered, relaxed, lower back, and opening those arms coming up to shoulder height. And then upper arms droop, pushing that ball down into the water till you can't push anymore. Shifting left for left ward off, turning to the right, sit down as you shift your weight, push a button, close, step, big macaw on your lower arm, pet the macaw. Your body is erect and you're looking now to the back of the room. We're going to shift to the right, turn 45 degrees to the right, and then turn back. Push with that right foot, all your weight on the left. There's a grab on that left arm. We're going to step and raise a little bird on our arm for right ward off on our right arm. And we'll do it one more time. Prepare. Feeling very erect, relaxed, centered. Opening. Arms floating up. Coming down, pushing that ball into the water. We're going to shift to the left, turning out to the right. Oh, we're going to swing back now as we move our body over and close, step, macaw up, left ward off, right ward off, shifting to the right, turning a little to the right. Feet are now parallel, turning back all your weight to the left side. Foot comes in, close, step, bring that arm up, just a sparrow now on that arm, and you're holding the tail. Oh, you guys look fabulous. Wonderful. All right, so what's challenging about any of that? And I know one of you is here for the first time. I expect it's like everything, right? But how are we doing? What's challenging? I got a thumbs up from Crystal. I know Crystal's not done this. This is your first time with the first section. But you did do basics before, so you've got some stuff to work with.
Something about the feet in the middle.
Something about the feet in the middle. How about we...
like when we finish the left ward off, you're going to start the right one right there. Something about the feet.
Oh. Okay. Let's do it again, and I'll call out the feet, but let's do it after we've pushed down. So everybody's in this position, and we'll just do left ward off and right ward off. And Julia, feel free to say right there, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to shift a little to the left, turn out to the right, and swing my arms. Now I'm going to shift all of my weight to my right foot, and then I'm going to close my arms, but I'm going to step out with my left foot. Not much weight on it yet. I root, and then I go into a bow step. My left knee is bending, my right knee is straight. And this is actually an unusual one where we're very open and very straight up and down. Now, for the next one, this is pretty interesting. We're gonna shift our weight back, bending that back right leg just enough to pivot on our left heel until our left foot is parallel to our right foot. Now, push with that right foot. We're going to get all of our weight on the left and let that foot just hang there. And then step out. That's when we close our arms. And then push with the back foot, heel, ball, toe, bend knee. And here you are, you'll see a very different bow step. See how my line here is not vertical up and down, but straight from my back of my heel all the way to my head.
Okay.
Better? Okay, it takes a while. All right, other challenging parts people are finding.
Personally, I'm just finding it challenging to coordinate everything.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do actually is we are going to spend a little more time because we review each move each time, right? So let's review these moves again. So last time, let's review in particular what's happening with let's see. I want you everybody, let's see. Can you mirror me for a minute? Can you put up your left hand? Yeah, right. So we're gonna, I don't think I mirrored you last year. This is great. So we're gonna be turning and our hand's gonna go like this. And then this is for left ward off. And then it's gonna come like this. Do you remember? We're back in this position. And then we're closing, right? And then there's a small bird here. And the small bird, we just bring it up. Bring up that small bird and we pet it. We pet it from the top of the head to the bottom. Yeah, kind of pet it. And your hands end up kind of, I don't know if you can see this, kind of end up with, pointing towards the forearm. So let me mirror you for a minute. So, you've done that fancy footwork and you've gotten in this position again, which was a position that you saw before. And we're gonna close, well here, actually it was like, I've got to remember what we're doing. Here you go. So you start like this. No, you start like this, sorry. Start like this, right? So your left hand, it's so hard to do it mirrored. So your left hand is out right from your shoulder, right? And then you're gonna turn our whole body, that's that whole body turn. We swing, and then we swing back, and as we do, remember, we were grabbing and pulling, right? And this other arm ended up pointing down that beautiful butterfly arm. And then we closed, and your right arm is on the bottom right now. And this is a ward-off arm, and it's gonna now come up with a bird on it, and it's gonna be right in front of you for right ward-off. And you're just gonna pet that bird. Now, for those of you who are here for the first time, the move right before this has this gigantic bird that you're lifting up with this straight arm, and you're coming way down here when you pet it. That's why I'm talking about a macaw there. But this is right ward off the move that we did last time. Any questions about these arms? Okay, it's the coordinating of the two I know that are important. So let's, I want to talk about the feet though, just a bit. So if you go into a left bow step, that means your left foot is forward. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Let's get there. We can turn out the right foot. The way we get there for left ward off is we shift our weight over so completely that we're able to unfold this left foot straight. And then we heel, ball, toe, turning our opening our quad, our hips right here to the corner, very far to the corner. We stand up straight, and remember our arm is right out like this, and the other arm ends up like this, right? So this is a left bow step that's done towards 12 o'clock. This is where we start when we're doing right ward off. We're gonna shift back. What does that mean? We're gonna move our center back along a line here in the center, just enough to move our weight into our heel pad of our left foot. We're gonna turn. Go ahead and turn that left thigh in. Now your hips are still to the corner, but your feet are parallel, right? Then we're gonna push with the right foot and not change our angle at all of this side of our body, but we can pivot on this right foot all we want. Give ourselves a little room. Then we're gonna stand on this left foot, let this foot come in, and then step out for a bow step in this direction. And that bow step, you'll recall, needs to be shoulder width apart, right? Like my lines on the floor. We step out and then we push with the back foot, heel, ball, toe, bend knee. Our hips feel pretty open to the corner, and our knee, if we look down, that knee's not hanging out like in no man's land. That thigh is aligned in the front with your toes, and you can still see the toes. You glance down, you still see the ends of your toes. So check yourself there. And now, if you look at me again, you will see that I'm not standing straight up like this. I'm sort of got a little bend right here, little bend. That comes from, again, relaxing this waist a little bit, and it comes from a little folding right here. That foot can almost push back into you right there and really ground both of your feet. So take a moment to just really feel grounded, like rocky ground that we've talked about. So that's the footwork for right ward off as review. Okay, now to get to Crystal's point, here's the hard part. We have to do it all at once, right? Okay, so we're going to start in this position we were in before, right? Where we had stepped out and it's a left bow step to 12 o'clock. Our other foot is on the diagonal to like 10:30, and they're shoulder width apart. What do I mean by shoulder width? I mean, if I stood like this, my feet would be under my shoulders, right? So one way you can always get here is just how we do it when we do left ward off. Okay, so here we are. And when we're finished left ward off, we're right here. So that's where we'll start. Now, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to bend that right knee and move some weight back, just enough to move, to feel that the weight in your front foot is now in your heel pad. We're going to turn. When we do, our arms turn with us. Our whole body turns like a robot, kind of. Our whole body turns. We'll smooth it out later, but for now, robot is fine. Nothing has changed. Okay? The left foot, though, has come in so that your feet are parallel. That was that turn on your heel. Now push with the ball of your right foot and bring all your weight over to the left side. And as you do, you're going to rotate your left arm and grab and sort of pull out. And then you're going to stand on that left foot. I'm on very uncertain ground here, so I'm going to put my foot down. And then close your arms, right? That's that switch sides move we've talked about. Close your arms and push with the back foot, heel, ball, toe. And as you do, what happens? You're petting a small bird. One more time. So here we are. Left bow step, right where we were before, left foot forward, right foot off at the diagonal 45 degrees. This arm is up holding that big macaw. Let's take the macaw for a ride. Shift your weight back, turn. Macaw gets a different view. Whoops, bye macaw. Macaw's gonna fly away now because we're grabbing and pulling, shifting our weight. Close step and coming forward, bringing that sparrow up. Look down, check that you're in good position. Your knees are clearly aligned with your toes. They're not like hanging out somewhere else. All right, looking pretty good. All right, so Tai Chi arms, we did butterfly arms last time, right? If you put a butterfly on your arm and you really imagine that butterfly on your arm that was like this usually goes like this because it feels so special, right? Yeah, it does. It does. And so when we're doing this, any of these moves, your fingers aren't going to be like this. They're going to be gently extended. And it's as if the power of the butterfly is just telling you, yeah, let the butterfly, imagine a butterfly coming, like, just go ahead and let your arm be normal. Now, imagine a butterfly walking and you want to make a really nice place for the butterfly. You'd probably it's coming out all the way to your fingers. All the way, yeah, all the way to your fingers. Right. This is the kind of arm we want all the time. We want you to just, yes. Oh, that's beautiful, Amy. Nice. Oh, everybody, Julia, your arms are better. Yeah. Oh, lovely. The other thing we do with our body shape, remember, is we keep our elbows as if almost like they were just a little heavy, right? So if you're wondering whether this is the right position or this is the right position, this is the right position. Those elbows are just going to be a little heavy, but they're not going to be limp, right? They're going to be butterfly arms. There's always, Master Yang says, it's like you're a charged balloon. He used the word charged, but it's like, yeah, right, Crystal? Crystal's going, I get this. It's like you're a charged balloon. Like if somebody came up to you and pushed on that arm, it would give way. It would give way. It might also end up connecting with them and doing something that your opponent didn't want, right? But it would give way. It would connect with them. It wouldn't give them any resistance, but it has like a balloon, right? Or like that water when you push down into it. Okay. All right, that's our review for right ward off. Any final questions on right ward off? Okay. All right, so we're going to do this again, mirroring for now. So, and I realize I didn't put this on last time, and I apologize when I was just doing that because I was in fact using the correct hands. But now I'm going to mirror you again. So this is going to be your right arm. So let's do the arms here. So here's your right arm. And this is where you start, right? And actually, why don't you put just make sure I've got this right. Yeah, your right foot forward, right? You could just put it forward. You don't have to be in a real bow step. Just put it forward so that you're kind of open, right? And then I want you to notice that something I haven't paid much attention to when I've been calling it out because there's just so much. Do you see? Come back a little. Do you see how this right elbow is right above your knee, and your hand is kind of opposite your shoulder. It's a little hard to see right now, but it should feel like it's opposite your shoulder. So it's not like this, it's like this. Your other hand is here. So this is the end, and those fingers, those nice extended fingers, are pointing towards your middle forearm. Now this is what we're going to do. We've been talking about swinging, right? We're going to do a swing rotate. We've kind of done that with a grab. So what I want you to do, just give me the top arm that's got the bird on it. We'll just get rid of the bird right now, right? Bird is going to fly away. We're going to, our chest is going to be a little to the side. See how my chest is to the corner? So I'm going to turn my upper body this way. And when I do, I'm going to swing this arm, but I'm going to have the whole Queen's wave kind of feeling, right? My arm's going to rotate. So it's going to look like this. And my chest is going to come forward, and yeah, and it's going to, and my hand's going to come out. And it's entirely coordinated with what my chest is doing. So let's back. Nice. And then turn to the left. I mean, turn left, but you're turning square, right? And then nice. So let's come back, and you're going to swing, turning left, turning your center. If you watch my center line, you'll see it happening. You see the center line right here? It's at the corner when we start. And then you see how my upper body is turning. Nice. All right. What's the other one doing? Well, the other one's been like this. It's going to go palm up. The trick is, so it's going to rotate also. It's just going to keep in the same position, keep those, but it's going to rotate. But it's going to stay. So it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. It's going to, do you see? So it goes palm up. So your thumb was initially, you know, kind of pointing your I don't know how to explain it. Your thumb sort of comes up as you rotate, right? So 2 rotations at once. We're always doing 2 things at once. Nice. Come back and make sure you're doing it as you turn, because this is a swing rotate. Swing rotate. And come back. Swing rotate. It's like you get a little more oomph. Nice. Then what we're going to do is we're going to keep those arms right there, and we're going to turn to the right all the way to the corner and just keep those arms there. Those nice arms. Okay, let's try it again. So here's your right arm.
Edie, somehow when you're saying turn to the right, if we're
Oh, I'm
mirroring,
sorry, it was the left.
left.
You're right. You are correct. I just blew it. Yes, it was turned to the left. Thank you so much, Rima. Yes. Okay. Sorry.
Mild dyslexic here.
No, I was, yeah, well, I'm the certified one too. Okay. This is really hard for me. So, all right. So put your right arm up. I'm going to mirror you. And we're going to do this turn, right? And rotate. Nice. Now, I want you to just imagine that you're like holding on to a branch or something, right? Like you've got it, right? And now you're just going to turn the other way, which is going to be your left, all the way, sort of as far as you can. Nice. Exactly. That's the arms for this move. And it's going to be easier. It's going to be actually easier when we put the feet with it, because guess what the feet look like? This is amazing. All right, let me show you how hard the feet are. So we were, let's see, trying to remember what we were doing. Yes, we're here, right? So now this is our right arm now. And we're like this. This is the right side. And your arms are going to be up like this, right? I've just been practicing it on the other side, so this is kind of hard. And we're gonna come back like this. This is the footwork. You're gonna push with your front foot and bend your knee with your back foot. So bend, have both bent in the middle, and then finish straightening your front knee. When you do, I want you to, you're gonna need, because you're swinging, I don't want you like falling off in this direction. So when you come back, I want you to imagine this shoulder after you turn is gonna sort of point. You're gonna sit your body a little in this direction. You see, I'm gonna overdo it now, a little in this direction, in the direction of where your front foot is. So let's give this a try. When we finish right ward off, our arm is up. Remember, our fingertips are opposite our left shoulder. And we're holding this bird, and we're down with the fingertips on the very tip of the tail, about, a fist distance from that. And our elbow and our knee, they're pretty aligned. Now, what happens is we're going to turn to the right, and I'm sorry if I've been saying the wrong words here. We're going to turn to the right, and as we turn to the right, we're going to rotate our thumbs are going to kind of come towards us. We're going to rotate as we turn to the right. Now, when we turn to the right, our chest ends up being pretty straightforward, actually. Okay, I realize you just turned away from me, so you're having to look back. So we're going to move this shortly, but now what I want you to do is shift your weight back and just swing your body to the corner and let your arms come with it. But now, how does your front foot feel? Does it feel like it's too light? So I want you to make sure you get on that rocky ground with the front foot. You'll find that's a little easier if you do that trick I was telling you about, which is you get that shoulder going in the direction of your front foot. Then your front foot will root really well. So I'm going to realize that you're going to be turning away from me, but let's try it one more time. Here you are in the position we just left with the sparrow at right ward off. We're going to do roll back. We're going to swing, rotate as we turn our upper body square to the side of the room. And we look out to the new corner. Then we're going to feel those arms ready to swing with us, and push with the front foot, bend the back knee, and shift your weight back as you swing. Now your chest is to the corner. Look down, make sure your left knee looks like it's near your left toes, maybe over them a little or something like that, but it shouldn't be hanging out in a weird spot. And your right knee shouldn't have come way in. It should still kind of be pointed towards where the direction that your right toes are going in. How is that? Okay, good. So we're going to do it this way, and I'm realizing that's not the way it's normally done, but we're going to get ourselves into a right bow step here, just so you can follow from behind on this one. So this is not the normal direction for it. So we need to be in a right bow step, means the right foot's forward. The left foot is off at 45 degrees, shoulder width apart. The right knee is bent, and you can, do a little gorilla thing here to get yourself comfortable, and you'll notice that you have just a little more weight on that front foot to start with. Now you've got to put that shelf for your bird to be on with your right arm, and then you're going to hold its tail. And I know you can't see that right now, but you'll be able to be behind me and see what that looks like. So we're going to turn, our chest is a little bit to the corner. So we're going to turn to our right enough to get our chest square. And as we do, our arms will swing and rotate out. So this kind of looks like a grab. It's actually not a grab. Make sure your elbow right here feels heavy, particularly as you get ready to swing. Okay, notice that your fingertips are still pointing towards the forearm of their left hand fingertips. Now, what are we going to do? Push with the front foot and turn and just let these arms swing. Don't do anything except turn your body and let it come back. But remember that front foot's going to feel light. So you're going to tip yourself a little forward. That shoulder needs to sort of go in the direction of that front right foot. All right, so when you're done with this, let's see, when you're done, your arms, you'll be able to read what's written on their palm. So remember that we are rotating that lower arm so you can read what's on the lower palm. So let's try this again. I'm going to do it in the direction that we're supposed to be doing it in. Actually, I'm going to do it in, boy, this is a hard one, isn't it? We'll do it in both directions. So here we are. This is right bow step. And our left hand is holding that sparrow. Now, we turn to the right, and as we do, we turn our palm up on the lower left hand and out, like pushing out with your right hand. Then I want you to think about that elbow of yours getting really heavy, which is going to turn your arm just a little bit, and then push with that front foot, bend that back knee, and just swing gently your body. And your arms do not change. There's no rotate here. And when you're done, your left hand will be your left hand will be where you can kind of read it. You can look at it. Let's try it again. So we're here at the end of right ward off. I know you have to go away from me when you do this, but that's all right. You're gonna rotate that upper hand is gonna go down and then out. Okay, I mean it's going to rotate down and out, the right hand, and the left hand is going to just turn with the thumb up as you turn square. Nice. Okay, I can see that. I can see you guys have it. All right, good. You're pointing at your middle forearm with your left hand. Now drop that elbow just a little bit more, that right elbow, just a little bit. It'll help you feel connected. And then swing and shift back, and you don't move your arms. Nice. Yes, everybody has it. All right. Oh my. This is so much easier not on Zoom. Because you can like walk around, you know, but it's here. Okay, what is challenging for this? Need some practice?
Definitely need some practice. I agree though that it's easier with the footwork.
It's a lot easier with the footwork, yes. Although I will say this is one that you learn and it feels good for a while. And then those people who've been here for a while, who've been taking Tai Chi for a while, will say at some point, all of a sudden, rollback doesn't feel right anymore. It's funny. It's funny, as you get to a certain level, there's some nuance to it. And I'm trying to clue you into a little of that by telling you about how your front foot could feel light, so that maybe, you know, you could avoid that moment when you're like, this would never work. They just push me down. So what you're really doing here, I'm not talking about this, which we're doing. I'm not talking about this as a grab pull. Sure looks like a grab pull, doesn't it? It looks just like the grab pull we were doing the other time. Actually, I don't have anybody here to practice on, but actually what we're doing is we're coming behind somebody, and the power point is really right here. And we're bringing them back. We're bringing them back this way. So that's part of why this hand ends up kind of cocked a little bit at the end, is because there's that moment of connection, and then you can powerfully bring them back, and you've actually got their arm and you're behind them, like behind their shoulder or behind their upper arm, and you're pulling them down. So it looks like a grab, but actually it's probably something like this, you know, where you're getting behind somebody else's arm. So I don't know if that helps, but that's why we're making this, getting our hands in the right position so that we can then move in a straight line. So people will say Tai Chi is circles everywhere, and it is, except at the moment when you deliver energy. Because energy is most efficiently delivered what? A straight line. Okay? All right, we are going to practice all of these together. Make sense? First, any questions? Because I know there's people coming forward and I'm not sure. We good? Okay. We're going to start here. We're going to do it 3 times. So prepare. Remember, this is when you are grounded. You feel your body suspended and your head rising up. You are grounded and your spirit is elevated. Opening. That expansion, those arms floating up to shoulder height. And then pushing that ball down until you can't push anymore. Left ward off, shifting left, turning right. Oh, we're going to sink and shift all the way to the right, pushing the button. Oops. Close step. Big macaw that you're lifting as you pet its tail. Shift to the right. We're going into right ward off now. Turn till your feet are parallel. Your body just turns with it. Then you turn back. You're grabbing, pulling with that left hand. We make a right bow step as we close. And then that little sparrow comes up and we pet its tail. roll back. Our arms are rotating. We could read our left palm and our right palm is out to the corner. As we're getting at the end of this to make transition, that elbow just droops a little bit, and now we're ready. We shift, bending that left knee and turning. Our hips are to the corner, where actually our body is actually a little more than corner. Next. Prepare. Opening. Our arms have gone up and now coming down until we can't push that ball anymore. Leftward off, shifting left, turning to the right. We're going to shift our weight all the way to the right and sink. Close our arms and step, root, raise that macaw, turn to the corner as you pet it down to hold its tail. Rightward off. We're gonna shift our weight back enough to just sort of robot turn to get that left foot parallel. Then push with that right foot, bend that left leg enough to come stand on that leg and close step. Raise a small bird and pet it. Roll back. Rotating our arms as we turn our body square. We're pushing out with the right hand, and our left hand points to we could read our palm, but its fingers are pointing to the middle forearm of our right hand. Drop that elbow a little as you start to turn your body as you shift back. This is roll back. See what time it is. We have time for do that. Same thing one more time. From here. Opening. Arms coming up to shoulder height. Droop those elbows, pushing down. When you can't push anymore, you have a brief stop. Shifting left to get into left ward off, we turn to the right, our arms swing, and then they swing back as we shift our weight, push a button, and then close step. Bring that macaw up, look to the side of the room. Shifting our weight right, we turn to get our foot parallel, our arms go with us, and then we grab, pull with the left arm. The right arm is a butterfly arm. We close, step, bring that our little bird up. That's right, ward off. Roll back. Swing, rotate to the corner. Your chest is now to the side of the room. Ready to hold those arms? Shift back, swing to the corner. Now, the mistake most people will make on this is that when they go to move their arms will become separated. So what I'm going to tell you is you're holding on to somebody, and they're not Elastigirl, right? It's not like, oh, I was holding on to you and you got really big, right? No. you're going to be swinging them. You're swinging them. And as you swing them, as you move your weight and swing, move your weight and swing, those arms are holding something. So if you want to imagine holding something, I don't want to see your thumbs doing this, but if that's what helps you do it the first few times, go ahead and do it. Hold on to something. Imagine you're holding on to something and you're just like pulling it down, you know, like I'm going to get this thing down. Right. So when you're practicing this week, look down and see if you've got about a fist distance, you know, between your arms, between this arm and this arm, and where it is at the end. And if it's, you know, a great deal bigger, then you're dealing with Elastigirl, and maybe that's all you can do. But so how are we? You don't have to get it all at once. Oh, good, Amy, I'm so glad that it was okay for you, because I know it's your first time. So I hope you'll come back and enjoy. Everybody else okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. You don't have to make me feel good. I do want to know how it's working and not working for you. And Rima, thank you very much for pointing out that I was saying the wrong direction. Oh my goodness. It's a problem. Mirroring is a problem for me as well as for you. But sometimes it's the only way to show something. Or else everybody has to sit there going, which foot is she using? And that's where this helps. This is going to always be my right hand and my right side. And this is always my center line. Sometimes you'll be able to see it move better or worse. But today I had ears, so you got to see them too. All right, so we're done. Thanks, everyone.